Welcome back! This is your host, Darkness, and today, we're diving into Principle 10. In assessing learners' L2 proficiency, it is important to examine free as well as controlled production. This principle emphasizes the need to evaluate language learners' proficiency through both structured tasks and more open-ended creative expressions. Assessing language proficiency effectively involves more than just quizzes and standardized tests. It's essential to include both controlled production, like grammar exercises or sentence transformations, and free production, such as writing poems or stories. Controlled tasks allow teachers to evaluate specific language structures, while free tasks give learners the chance to express their thoughts and creativity in the target language. Let's consider the role of poetry as a form of free expression in language learning. Poetry allows students to explore language in a creative and personal way. It encourages them to play with words, experiment with styles, and express their feelings or ideas without strict rules. This type of assessment can reveal a lot about a learner's language skills, including vocabulary, grammar, and even cultural insights. For instance, students can write a poem inspired by their favorite fantasy stories, blending imagination with language practice. This method not only engages them, but also provides insight into their proficiency and confidence in using the language. Now, let's connect this principle to Emerald Sword by Rhapsody, a song that encapsulates themes of adventure and fantasy. The lyrics are rich with imagery and storytelling, much like poetry. As you listen, think about how the song's narrative structure parallels the creative process in writing poetry. Emerald Sword by Rhapsody. The song's epic narrative and emotional depth can inspire both controlled and free productions in language learning. Reflect on how songs and poetry can serve as valuable tools in assessing L2 proficiency. Encourage your students to explore their creativity and express their interpretations of the song through their own poetic expressions, connecting language learning with artistic exploration. Here are 3 tips to incorporate this principle into your assessments. Balanced assessment. It's essential to combine traditional assessments with creative tasks. Controlled assessments, such as grammar exercises or multiple choice exams, are useful for measuring knowledge of specific language structures. However, we should not overlook the importance of free productions, where students can express their ideas and feelings. By balancing both approaches, educators can gain a more comprehensive view of a learner's proficiency in the language. For example, a teacher might use a written exam that includes grammar questions, controlled assessment, while also asking students to write a poem or a short story, free assessment, to evaluate their creativity and use of language in more natural contexts. Creative assignments. Encouraging creative writing, such as poetry or short stories, allows students to explore the language in a more personal and meaningful way. These tasks not only help practice vocabulary and grammar, but also enable students to connect emotionally with the language. Creative productions can reveal unique aspects of their language competence, such as fluency, personal style, and cultural expression. For instance, students could be tasked with writing a poem about a fantasy character they admire. This gives them the opportunity to play with language and experiment with different forms of expression while demonstrating their ability to construct sentences and effectively use vocabulary. Peer review. Implementing peer feedback sessions is an excellent way to foster a collaborative learning environment. By sharing their creative works, students can learn from each other and receive different perspectives on their language use. This interaction not only helps develop constructive criticism skills, but also reinforces confidence in their own language abilities. Example: after students write their poems, a session can be organized where they read their work aloud and receive feedback from their peers. This allows them to hear different writing styles and see how others approach the same topic, thereby enriching their own language practice. And that wraps up our discussion on Principle 10. In assessing learners' L2 proficiency, it is important to examine free as well as controlled production. Remember, valuing both structured and creative outputs in assessment not only enriches the learning experience, but also empowers students to express themselves more fully in the target language. And keep encouraging creativity in your teaching. Until next time, continue exploring the diverse forms of expression that language offers.